Everything bites in Australia.
Really?
Particularly the girls.
So, well, thank you. You said you left some gifts in my room?
Yep. I left the thing that all women should have, a football jumper.
Oh, good.
The team that I support in Australia is the South Sydney Rabbitohs, who are currently the second worst team at the moment. But we've had 3 or 4 years of being the worst team, so we're on the way up. And I did a sponsorship deal with them because in our football codes in Australia, we have sponsorship on the jumpers similar to soccer in the United Kingdom and Europe, you know. And so for 8 weeks this year, the South Sydney team get to run out on the field with Cinderella Man on their shirts. So hopefully they start doing a bit better.
Well, I like to root for an underdog anyway, so that's fine. I don't mind that. And it's in Sydney, or where is it in Australia?
That team is South Sydney. Yeah, it's the poorest district of Sydney. It's the district with the largest Aboriginal population in the metropolitan area, and it's traditionally been the working class man's suburb of Sydney. Yeah.
And that's where. Do you live there or here?
I live in Australia.
You do. You have a farm, right?
I live at the moment in Sydney.
Do you have like animals, or do you have crops?
Yeah. I have both.
Really?
Depending on what time of the year it is, but the animals are always there. But we're actually, we just, they don't come and go so regularly. We sold off quite a few cattle just recently. Over the last 4 years, we've been doing a breeding program, and we're starting to see the results. So we're taking some of the older breeders out of the way. And we've been going through some hard times with water in the last few years and drought conditions and stuff. So we're just letting the pasture heal a bit this year.
Oh, because I read, because I just bought a little place that, and they have, it's an alpaca farm, and I heard you have alpacas. Do you do that or no?
I don't do alpacas.
Oh, do you know what they are? And the llamas and all that stuff? You don't do that?
I don't do that. I do Angus cattle.
Oh, yeah. I don't have them. I know what they are, though. Yeah. But
they're the ones that go moo.
Yes. That's all you need to know, really.
I mean, you know, some basic knowledge is going to help you in the farming stuff.
Yeah.
Do you want to know who associate any of the other sounds with animals you don't know?
Yes, because I hear that platypuses are there. And do they make a noise? Platypi. I'm sorry. I'm learning. So 2 platypus would be platypi.
It would be platypi.
And a platypi makes, well, are they called a herd of platypi or a crop? What are a group of them?
I'm not sure, but we can make one up.
Yeah, let's make it, because there's a pride of lion.
Well, let's see, what have they got? They've got a duck's bill, they've got like an otter's body, and their marsupial butt, they give birth to eggs. So what are we going to...
they just showed a picture of them. They're weird-looking little things.
Yeah, so what...
And do you have them there? Is that right?
It would be a mess of platypi.
A mess of platypi.
Or a confusion.
Yes, I like a confusion.
A confusion of platypi.
Yeah. And
it's got to be like, I think Robin Williams has done this before, but that platypus, it's got to be like God's up late one night, he's had a few drinks.
Yeah. It really is.
It's all play on their minds for years.
Yeah, yes. Because they really do have so many different things that really don't belong with one other aspect of the animal.
Yeah, and the thing is about platypus too, that you don't really realise, I suppose, until you meet one, they're only quite small. They're generally quite small, so they're actually quite delicate and beautiful. You know?
And when you meet them, how would you greet one?
You ready? G'day, mate.
Like that? Are they friendly, or are they dangerous?
They've got some poison stuff. Look, it's Australia, mate. Everything bites in Australia.
Really?
Particularly the girls. Yeah, they've got these little things on their head, I think. So if you give them the wrong sort of tickle up, you can get a bit of poison. Yeah.
Things on their head that spray poison?
I don't think they spray. I just think they secrete.
Oh, so if you pet them.
I'm not a platypus expert, and I don't know how we got on this subject.
Yeah.
So if I'm saying anything, you know, that's wrong, and you know the answer, just please put your hand up, fill me in. I'm always ready for new knowledge.
Someone just turning the channel going, God, he knows a lot about platypi.
Boring bastard.
Yeah. I'm fascinated by it.
Yes.
Now, and you have a little baby, is that right? You're married
Yes.
to, how long have you been married to? Danielle, is that her name?
We celebrated our 2nd wedding anniversary on the 7th of April, which is also the day that we christened Charlie, who's now 17 months old.
Charlie.
He's backstage. He's hanging out backstage.
Charlie is?
Yeah, going through the presents that you sent me. He's probably got the boxer shorts on his head by now.
I'll get some smaller ones. We have little baby clothes
Cool.
for the kids now. But I'm telling you, he said he got the underwear, but he didn't put them on. You'll be sorry. They're so comfortable.
I saw Carson wearing a pair, so I thought to myself, gosh.
Yeah.
You know?
Everybody does. Martin, it's not just Carson Daly. Everybody wears them. It's the thing. It's the craze. You're way behind.
I'm sold.
Now, and so Charlie, which is a cute name, is he talking?
He says the occasional word and stuff. You know, he's actually collecting them as we go. You know, it was a heart-lifting moment the day he pointed at a seagull and said duck. You know? I thought, well, that's progress, you know. And but the thing that's happened just in the last couple of days, and maybe because we're in a strange place, but he's suddenly gone from, you know, seeing me as the sort of fountain of affection, you know, and the place you can always get a cuddle from. He's worked out just recently that I'm, in fact, the best public transport system he has. Yeah, so now it's like, daddy, daddy, da, da, da. Yeah. Oh, man. And I pick him up and he gets over and he goes, there.
Oh.
Yes.
So he's smart.
He's, you know, if he takes after his mum, she's very clever.
Because we have people on the show all the time, well, not all the time, but we started reaching out to see if other people have babies that talk. That Brittany Murphy, do you know her?
An actress, yeah?
Yeah, I can't really call her a liar anymore, but she has...
She's got a baby?
No.
Oh, but she can talk.
No, yes, she can talk.
Right.
Yes. Follow me. So she said when she was a baby that she started talking at 3 months and full sentences and paragraphs at 6 months. That's a clip from Cinderella Man that opened last weekend, and it's a true story it's a beautiful film.
Thank you very much. Yeah, it's the true story of a guy called James J. Braddock who became the heavyweight champion in 1935. The incredible thing about Braddock is he actually had his license revoked as a boxer in '29, just after the stock market crash. And you know, being a guy who was quite conservative, he had every cent he'd ever earned from the ring in the stock market. And his one other principal investment was a cab company in New York. And of course, when the Depression hit, that didn't work so well either. So we start off in 29 with the movie and show you where he was earning $8,000 a night, and then pick his life up in 33, 4 years later when he has no money and he's struggling to get $50 fights. Now, to me, this was a really important story to tell. I read it first in 1997, and I just loved it. I didn't necessarily think that the script as a whole was right, but the point-to-point of the stories was fantastic, and all the little details in it, I kept going back and checking them all to see, is this really true? Did this really happen? I mean, at one stage he goes on Social Security and is so affected with his self-esteem and pride for having to go on Social Security that he keeps a running total of how much money he gets off the government. And when he gets back on his feet again, he goes down to the Social Security office and he gives the money back. Just so, you know, and, you know, he'd be amazed, actually, at the kind of stuff that goes on these days. He'd probably be spinning in his grave.
Yeah.
But he was a great guy, and, you know, I liked everything I read about him. I liked, you know, who he was before he was a champion, who he was as a champion, who he was after he was a champion. You know, he stayed connected to his society and to his culture. And he died in 1974, still desperately in love with his wife, having watched his 3 kids grow up and having watched them have children, you know, and to me it was a wonderful American story that really deserved to be told.
Yeah, it really is. And Renee Zellweger plays your wife, and she's great in it.
She's
and
fantastic.
Just everybody. It's a beautiful film, and I cried, and you cheer, and you just it really makes you feel very happy. But
there's a great performance in it in there too by a guy called Paul Giamatti.
Oh, Paul's amazing in it.
Last year's Sideways. I mean, I reckon they've got to come up with a new Italian sports car. You know, you've got Ferrari and Maserati. They've got to have a Giamatti.
Yeah.
You know, because he's a wonderful actress.
Actress?
Sorry. That's another thing.
How good
I shouldn't have talked about that. Yeah, that's how good he is. Yeah, no, he's a wonderful actor. And so much fun to be with on the set, you know, and you can do anything with him because he's got the ability to go anywhere. So.
No, it's really a great movie. You'll love it. All right, and you have, we should mention before you go, you have a new solo CD. You had a band, and now you have a solo CD. Yeah,
it's just a group of songs. It's called My Hand, My Heart, and there's not going to be any traditional release, so the only way you can get it is by downloading it from iTunes.
Okay.
It's produced by Alan Doyle from the Canadian band Great Big Sea, and it's up there now if you want to go and grab it.
We will.
Cool.
Thank you for being here, Russell.
Cheers, Helen.
All right. Cinderella Man is in theaters everywhere, and everyone in the audience is getting a copy of the soundtrack